Members of hundreds of kidnapped Nigerian schoolboys fear time may be running out to get their children home safely. This is video released this morning by the suspected kidnappers that purportedly shows the kidnapped children. We believe the video to be genuine, but CBS News cannot independently confirm its authenticity.
Kidnappings are happening under government official nose. Different states, not just one state, different state, north, south, east, west, kidnappings, genocide here, kidnappings here, rituals here, everything. Who did we offend that you cannot even live peace? Like there is no season of peace. IJGBs, they're already scared. People that spend $4,000, $5,000, $3,000 on ticket, they're traveling to a country where their safety is not even guaranteed. Not in secluded areas, broad daylight, busy areas, people are being kidnapped left, right, and center.
This is my brother's car. He was kidnapped in this particular street, and according to information reaching us, those people they went with him through that forest, and the police has been here since last night. The only thing they kept doing, they kept coming in, and they kept staying at the bank of the forest. Nobody is advancing.
If you're planning a trip to Nigeria in 2026, there are 5 cities you should seriously reconsider. And one of them is probably on your list. Nigeria is vibrant, energetic, and unforgettable, but the reality on the ground is shifting fast. We're not just talking about pickpockets or scams. These are life-altering risks. The crime index has jumped to 67.3, and that's not just a number, it's a warning. The challenges are outpacing the solutions, and for travelers, that's a red flag. In this video, I'll break down the 5 cities you should avoid, explain the dangers, and suggest safer alternatives. This isn't about fear, it's about traveling smart and staying safe. Stick with me, because the last city on this list surprises everyone. Let's get started. Here are the 5 Nigerian cities you need to reconsider in 2026. First up is Lagos, the city that never sleeps, a sprawling metropolis where the energy is palpable and the lights never seem to dim. It's a place of ambition, hustle, and relentless movement, where millions chase their dreams day and night. But right now, that endless activity comes at a steep price. The city's pulse is frantic, and for many, it's more exhausting than exhilarating. With over 20 million people packed into its ever-expanding borders, Lagos is bursting at the seams. The infrastructure, roads, power, water, simply can't keep up with the relentless growth, leaving daily life chaotic and unpredictable. Crime here isn't just a background threat, it's organized, sophisticated, and growing bolder by the day. Criminal networks operate with alarming efficiency, and the sense of danger is never far away. Lagos traffic jams aren't just a test of patience, they're notorious hotspots for robberies, carjackings, and even violent attacks. Getting stuck in a go-slow can quickly turn from an inconvenience to a real threat. The police force is stretched thin, often under-resourced and unable to respond quickly. In many neighborhoods, your safety is largely your own responsibility, and residents have learned to be constantly alert. For those who can afford it, staying safe means shelling out for expensive hotels, hiring private security, and never letting your guard down, even for a moment. Even the city's most exclusive neighborhoods, like Ikoyi and Victoria Island, aren't immune. Kidnappings, armed robberies, and home invasions have become all too common, shattering any illusion of safety. Economic pressure and soaring unemployment have made Lagos a powder keg. Tensions simmer beneath the surface, and minor disputes can spiral into violence in seconds. The city's volatility is impossible to ignore. There's no denying the city's vibrant energy, festivals, nightlife, and a creative spirit that's infectious. But that same energy can quickly turn dangerous, and the risks are very real. What you don't see on Instagram are the armored vehicles, the private guards, and the constant security checks that are part of daily life for many residents and visitors. For travelers, the odds are stacked against you. Even with careful planning, the risks are high, and the city's challenges can quickly overwhelm even the most experienced adventurer. You can do everything right, follow every safety tip, stick to the safe areas, and still find yourself caught in the chaos of a protest, a sudden crime wave, or an emergency with little warning. Lagos is a city on edge, its people resilient but weary. Right now, the risks far outweigh the rewards, and for most visitors, it's simply not worth the gamble. My honest advice? Skip Lagos in 2026. There are better, safer ways to experience the best of Nigeria. Explore the country's rich culture in places like Abuja or the countryside, where you can enjoy Nigeria's warmth and hospitality without the constant sense of danger. Don't let Lagos's allure or its reputation as Africa's giant put you in harm's way. Sometimes, the bravest choice is to walk away. The giant is overwhelmed. Cross Lagos off your list for now. There's a whole world out there waiting to be explored, and your safety should always come first. Let's move on. Next is Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Once considered a safe haven, now a city with hidden dangers lurking beneath its polished surface. For years, Abuja was seen as a model of order and calm, a place where diplomats, politicians, and business travelers could breathe easy. But that reputation is fading fast. Abuja's clean streets and modern buildings create a false sense of security. The city's gleaming glass offices and well-maintained roads give the impression of stability and prosperity, lulling both locals and visitors into letting their guard down. But beneath this calm exterior, kidnapping has become an epidemic, targeting ordinary people in supposedly safe neighborhoods. It's not just high-profile individuals, teachers, students, and even children have been snatched from their homes and streets. Criminals exploit the city's layout and green belts, making abductions quick and easy. The winding roads and secluded areas provide perfect cover for those looking to disappear without a trace, and the city's rapid expansion has made it even harder for authorities to keep up. Foreigners are seen as high-value targets, and embassies are restricting staff movement. International organizations now issue frequent warnings, and many diplomats are advised to avoid public places altogether. Political unrest adds another layer of risk. Protests can turn violent without warning. Demonstrations that start peacefully can quickly spiral out of control, catching bystanders in the chaos. Security forces focus on government zones, leaving most of the city under-policed. Outside the central districts, police presence is thin, and response times are slow, making it easy for criminals to operate with impunity. Emergency response is slow, and you're largely on your own. In a crisis, ambulances and police can be delayed by traffic or bureaucracy, leaving victims and their families to fend for themselves. The expectation of safety is the real trap. Relax for a moment, and you're vulnerable. Many visitors, reassured by the city's modern look, let their guard down, not realizing how quickly things can change. Criminals count on visitors letting their guard down. They watch for those who seem distracted or unfamiliar with their surroundings, making them easy targets for theft, or worse. Travel advisories are clear. Abuja is no longer the serene capital it once was. Governments around the world now warn their citizens to exercise extreme caution or avoid the city altogether. The risk of kidnapping and political instability is too high. Even locals are anxious, with families constantly on edge and neighborhoods growing more suspicious of outsiders. Don't be fooled by appearances. Behind the gates of luxury estates and the walls of shopping malls, fear is growing, and security is never guaranteed. Abuja's beauty now hides a dangerous reality. The city's stunning sunsets and iconic landmarks mask the uncertainty that has become part of daily life. My advice: avoid Abuja in 2026. No trip is worth risking your safety, no matter how attractive the destination may seem. There are better, safer destinations in Nigeria. Cities like Lagos, Calabar, and Jos offer vibrant culture and excitement without the same level of risk. Don't let the illusion of safety put you at risk. Stay alert, do your research, and choose your destinations wisely. Let's keep going. City number 3 is next. Third is Port Harcourt, the oil capital and ground zero for organized crime. The city's wealth gap is extreme, fueling resentment and a thriving kidnapping industry. Kidnapping here is a professional operation, targeting anyone linked to oil or foreign companies. Security measures are intense. Bulletproof vehicles, armed convoys, and strict curfews. Even with precautions, ambushes and leaks are common. The surrounding Niger Delta is a labyrinth for militants. Rescue is nearly impossible. There's no tourist infrastructure, and outsiders are easy targets. Local police are outgunned and often complicit. Armed robbery and piracy add to the danger. The city's tension is palpable, and violence can erupt at any time. Even non-oil visitors are seen as wealthy and at risk. The risk of being in the wrong place at the wrong time is sky high. Unless you have a military-grade security detail, don't go. Port Harcourt is not for tourists or casual business. The risk defines daily life here. Avoid it. There's no reward worth the gamble. Next, we head north. Fourth is Kano, an ancient city now on the front line of terrorism. Extremist groups like Boko Haram and ISWAP remain active, targeting public places with bombings and attacks. Foreigners risk both random violence and targeted abduction for propaganda. The security situation is unpredictable. Calm can shatter instantly, medical care is inadequate, and emergency response is slow or non-existent. If you're injured or fall ill, evacuation is difficult and expensive, often not covered by insurance. Most travel insurance excludes areas under government advisory, leaving you financially exposed. Kano is also deeply conservative, with strict social codes. Missteps can escalate quickly. The city's atmosphere is tense, with blurred lines between crime, politics, and terrorism. The risks, terrorism, kidnapping, poor infrastructure, are overwhelming. Kano's history is rich, but it's now a conflict zone. Don't go for tourism, business, or adventure. The dangers are invisible and catastrophic. Read about Kano's heritage. Don't risk your life to see it. My advice: avoid Kano in 2026. Let's look at our final city. The last one may surprise you. Finally, Jos, a city that, at first glance, seems to offer a tranquil escape from the chaos of Nigeria's larger cities. Its streets are lined with trees, the air is cool and fresh, and the plateau's rolling hills create a sense of calm. But beneath this peaceful facade, Jos hides a violent undercurrent that few outsiders ever see. Known for its natural beauty and temperate climate, Jos has long attracted people from across Nigeria. Yet, the city sits on a fault line of deep ethnic and religious tension, where decades-old grievances simmer just below the surface, waiting for a spark. When violence erupts, it does so with shocking speed and intensity. Entire neighborhoods can become battlegrounds overnight, and streets that were bustling with life suddenly empty as people flee or barricade themselves indoors. The triggers for these clashes can be as minor as a rumor or a local dispute, but the violence that follows is often highly organized, ruthless, and devastating for those caught in its path. For visitors, the dangers are almost impossible to read. There are no clear signs, no obvious warnings. You might find yourself wandering into a neighborhood that was safe yesterday, but is now a flashpoint for conflict. In Jos, violence can erupt without warning. You could be shopping in a market or walking down a quiet street, only to be swept up in chaos and suddenly become a target, simply for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. When unrest breaks out, the government's response is often to impose strict curfews. These can last for days or even weeks, trapping residents and visitors alike indoors, cut off from supplies and information. Unlike other cities, Jos offers little in the way of tourist infrastructure. If you get into trouble, there's no reliable support network, no tourist police, no emergency hotlines, and few safe havens. The local police are often stretched thin, overwhelmed by the scale of the violence. In some cases, they're accused of taking sides, making the situation even more unpredictable and dangerous for outsiders. The danger isn't limited to the city. The surrounding plateau state is plagued by attacks on rural communities, with entire villages burned and families forced to flee in the dead of night. Jos can lull you into a false sense of security. It might remain peaceful for months, but all it takes is a single incident for the city to explode into violence overnight. The risk here is societal and deeply unpredictable. No amount of research or planning can fully prepare you for the sudden shifts in mood and safety that define life in Jos. Most people who travel to Jos do so out of necessity: family emergencies, essential business, or humanitarian work. For the average traveler, the risks far outweigh any potential reward. If you don't have a compelling reason to be in Jos, the best advice is simple: don't go. The city's dangers are real, and the consequences of being caught unprepared can be severe. Jos is undeniably beautiful, but that beauty hides a tragic flaw: a city forever on the edge, where peace is always fragile. The risk of communal violence is simply too high, and the consequences too unpredictable, for any casual visit to be worth it. So, admire Jos from a distance. Let its hills and skyline remain a distant memory for now. In 2026, it's a place best left off your itinerary. Let's wrap up. Those are the 5 Nigerian cities to avoid in 2026: Jos, Kano, Port Harcourt, Abuja, and Lagos. This isn't about fear, it's about being prepared and making smart choices. The risks in these cities are simply too high for most travelers right now, but Nigeria still has safer places to explore, and we'll cover those soon. Your safety is the top priority. Travel smart, stay informed. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it. Tag someone planning a trip. They need to see this. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. See you in the next one.
Give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel grow. And hey, we've got plenty more videos waiting for you. Check them out right here so you can stay updated with all our latest content. See you in the next one.